Hi guys, it's Lucy, and today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag and a little mid-year check-in. So first I'm just going to do like a mid-year check-in, which is basically me checking in on like the goals I set for myself at the beginning of 2016 and seeing where I am now. We're a little more than halfway through the year at this point of filming this. If you want to see like the video where I talk more in detail about the goals that I set for myself in 2016, I'll link that down below and somewhere on the screen. But basically my Goodreads challenge for the year, which is basically how many books am I going to read this year, was 60 books. I have read 43 so far. 14 of them were graphic novels and 29 were regular full-length novels with no pictures. In regards to the total amount of books that I've read so far, I'm a little ahead of my Goodreads challenge, which is good, but I really want to see if I can complete the Goodreads challenge just by regular novels, so in that regards I'm a little behind. I also had a TBR envelope where I planned to like pick things out of it and then complete those challenges for the 52 books around the year challenge, and yeah, I abandoned that envelope because it was just, I don't know, it wasn't really working for me. I wasn't that excited about it. I wasn't really reading the books that I was picking out of it. Or if I was, like, it was happening months after I picked it out, so it wasn't really doing what it was supposed to be doing, I feel like. But I am still doing the 52 books around the year challenge. For that, I've read 20 books, which is, like, you know, like, not good at all. I'm really behind in that regard because I should have read 26 by now, so I need 6 more books to be on track, and then I have to keep going. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to complete it. We'll see. I also made kind of a 2016 TBR at the beginning of the year, which I'll link down below, and that's also where I talk about my TBR envelope. For that, I ended up listing 27 books when you add up all the books in series that I wanted to read, and so far I've read 6 of those, which is even worse. But the 2016 TBR was more of a loose guideline, so we'll see. I'll be like good if I read like 10 of those books, I think. The other 2 goals I set for myself were to read 6 classics. So far I have read 3, so I'm right on track. And I wanted to reread 6 books, and so far I have reread 1. So yeah. So overall, like my challenges, goals, whatever, I have not been on top of at all. So maybe I need to be better about that. But into the mid-year book freakout tag. This tag was created by Chammy from Read Like Wildfire and Ellie Jane from her channel that I don't know the name of, but I will link both of their videos down below. I did this tag last year around this time. I'm just gonna get right into the questions. The best book you've read so far in 2016. This one was a little hard because I've actually been reading pretty good books so far this year, but I think the best so far right now, in this opinion, was Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, because I loved it so much when I was reading it, and I still love it now, 6 months later. And I also have a review linked down below and somewhere on the screen. Best sequel you've read so far in 2016. So far this year I haven't really read a lot of sequels, but one sequel I did like in particular was Messenger by Lois Lowry. This is the 3rd book in the Giver Quartet. I actually read the whole quartet this year and had a really good time. Do recommend. A new release that you haven't read yet but want to. So for this one I had a lot of choices, so I chose 2. The first one is an older new release, if that makes sense, and it is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. I really liked A Darker Shade of Magic when I read it, and so the sequel I would probably like too, but I just haven't read it yet. And a more recent new release is My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Again, I can't just choose one, so I chose 2. And firstly, we have Gemina by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I just said that Illuminae was the best book I've read so far this year, so clearly I'm excited for its sequel. And the second book I'm excited for is Replica by Lauren Oliver. I've seen some people getting ARCs. A lot of people got ARCs of it at BEA, and I am so jealous. Lauren Oliver is one of my favorite authors. Biggest disappointment. This year I'm doing much better than last year in regards to reading books that I like. So this one is not a book that I actually actively disliked. I liked it pretty well. It was just not as good as I was hoping it was, and that book is A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This is a classic, and I expected to like it a little more than I did. Biggest surprise for this, again, I have 2. The first one, I didn't realize how much I liked it until like after I read it, if that makes any sense. It's been like 3 months, I think, and I'm still thinking about it, and like I really actively enjoyed it, and I'm thinking about raising my star rating for it because I just keep thinking about it, which I don't know. But that book is Winged Poppy Midnight by April Genevieve Tucholke, and it's really good and I really recommend it. And the second biggest surprise was a more recent read, and that is Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly. I read this for the biannual bibliothon, and I might do a review of this because I liked it so much. I didn't expect it at all. I kind of thought this was a dystopian, but it's not, because I just went into it not knowing anything at all because this was a gift from my friend. The next one is Favorite New Author, which can be a debut author or a new to you author. For this one, going back to Winged Poppy Midnight, I have chosen April Genevieve Tucholke. She is my favorite new author, I think, because her writing style is just so beautiful, and I want to read all her books now. Newest fictional crush. Okay, so I don't really have a fictional crush on like any of the characters I've read so far in this year, I think. Newest favorite character. I think my newest favorite character is Scarlett Epstein from Scarlett Epstein Hates It Here. I just really enjoyed that book, and I really enjoyed reading from her perspective, and I have a review of it down below and on the screen. Book that made you cry. I don't actually cry usually when I read, but I have strong feelings of emotion usually. I don't know how to explain it, but the book that came the closest to like actually making me cry so far this year was, again, Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly. Yeah, this is really sad, really good. Recommend, please read it. A book that made you happy. For this one I chose Hyperbole and a Half by Ali Brosh. It's really funny and a good time to read. Most beautiful book you've bought or received so far this year. I have 2 books for this. In theory 3, but I didn't want to use the same book for like 3 questions, so 2 books. The first one is Exit Pursued by a Bear. I just think this is so pretty. Like, I don't know, like the sky and the colors of the sky is just nice. The second one is Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I learned in, I think it was Emma Book's video, apparently everything on the cover is featured in the book. Like there's like actual things like in the paint splatter that's featured in the book, and then like I looked at it and it's like, oh my god, you're right, which is crazy. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Basically everything on my physical TBR I would like to have read. So right now the books that I have with me on my physical TBR are Red Rising by Pierce Brown, The White Boy Shuffle by Paul Beatty, Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, A Monster Call by Patrick Ness, The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness, The Winter's Crime by Marie Rutkoski, The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, also Uprooted by Naomi Novik, and last but not least, Exit Pursued by a Bear. Last but not least, favorite book community member. Instead of choosing my favorite, because I don't like choosing favorites, like you feel left out, like blah blah blah, I just went through the last people I subscribed to, and I chose the last 3 people I subscribed to with less than 500 subscribers at the time of me planning this video. So those 3 people are Jade from Bedtime Bookworm, Sarah from Reading and Ranting, and Trish from Paperback Prima Donna. All 3 of those people have lovely channels that I really enjoyed watching, hence why I subscribed to them, and I really recommend you subscribe to them as well. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinion about any of the books that I talk about in this video, please be sure to leave a comment down below. And if you like seeing me talk about books, please be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make more videos where I talk about books. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!